Hey you guys, what's up? It's your girl Crete. Welcome back to another video. I decided to do something a little different. In this video, I'm going to be discussing various perfumes that I feel are similar but different. As you guys know, there are many perfumes on the market that have close to or similar vibes as some others. You may have gotten things off of people's recommendations or just over time noticed that there were several perfumes in your collection that all had the same vibe. For example, that's how I found out what fragrances I gravitated towards. That is what this video is going to be about. This video will be showcasing perfumes that have similar vibes. They're similar, but they're also different. Some people may detect these similarities and others may not. This is all coming from my perspective, so just take it with a grain of salt. You can absolutely feel different, but I wanted to save you guys some coin and just to get you guys' gears going and thinking about it. If you guys, while you're watching this, find that you enjoy the content, please do me a favor and hit the like button and be sure that you subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you guys agree or you disagree, feel free to share that down below. As long as you're respectful, it's an open community. We can discuss these things. Also, if there are some that I left out this list, depending on how long this is, we may make a part 2. But you guys, if there are some that you find are similar in your opinion that you've never heard anyone speak about, please feel free to share that down below. There are a ton that I'm sure I haven't gotten to, and there are others that I didn't list on this list that also give similar vibes. So we're just trying to reduce on redundancy in our collections, being very intentional with your purchases. And so if that sounds like something that you guys are interested in seeing, you guys are in for a treat. You're in the right place. Go ahead, sit back, relax, and please continue to watch. The very first one that is up on this list is what sparked the idea for this video. I've actually been wanting to do this video for quite some time, but I didn't even have all of the fragrances because now that I know, have been trying to really get away from getting those similar profiles. There are some that just stand out to me like blaring lights from the minute that I laid my nose on them. This first one up is again what sparked this video. So first set of fragrances that I find to be different but incredibly similar. Roses Vanille over here on the right side. That is Roses Vanille by Mancera. Okay, you guys see I have a nice dent here. I'm halfway through this 60 ml bottle, and then this is a newbie that you guys don't even know that I have yet, but I did purchase this probably after uploading my last haul. This was Maison Francis Kirk de Jean's Gentle Fluidity Gold, so I now have both. I know that might be a little surprising because I told you guys I wouldn't buy this if it wasn't on sale. So yeah, I actually did find this on sale at a good price that I was okay with purchasing, and I actually did test this out for a nice amount of time first, ran through that, and so I decided to pick it up because I found it at a really good discount. Just as a disclaimer, before I get into it, I will not be going heavily into notes on this video because this will be extremely long. I don't want to spend time reading off notes for you guys. For these two particularly, I do have them written down, but that's just for comparison if I need to go back and just refer. But I don't plan to do that with all of these. I'm really just going off of what you will interpret, what you smell, and the different vibes that they give me. So if that's okay with you guys, let's get into it. I have tester strips, you guys, today. So I will be using those because I can't put all of these on me. I have quite a few in here. So with Roses Vanille, you guys, I've had this for, like I said, a little bit, probably a year now. Oh, it's a gorgeous rose dominant fragrance. Okay, it is a jammy rose. It opens up with like a lemon, so it's like a brightness in the opening. It's not a whole lot, but there is a tinge of a brightness in the opening, which quickly fades. You're gonna get that rose though right off the bat. And then as it dries down, you'll get like this sugary sweetness, which is the jamminess of the rose. And it dries down into a rose vanilla combo. Literally with Roses Vanille, what you see is what you get. What it sounds like is exactly what you're going to interpret. It is a very sweet, sugary sweet, you guys. Sugary, sweet, jammy rose. And It is beautiful, but it can be overwhelming to me. This is one that is beast mode. It lasts quite a long time on skin and on clothes. You get bang for your buck. I was able to get this. I don't remember at this time where I picked this up from, but I've had it for quite some time. And again, this is a 60 ml bottle. I know it was under $100 for sure. It probably was under 75. So you can definitely pick this up from like your Joma shop, your fragrance net. Really enjoyed this. I didn't love it, but I do like it enough to keep. It's really one of the only rose fragrances I have in my collection at this time. This to me could be considered like a gourmand rose, even though it's not gourmand, but definitely a very sugary sweet rose. This is not a fresh fragrance at any rate. I would not consider it that way. Okay, so that is my thought and interpretation of Roses Beneath. So then when I went and tried out, and this is before I decided to pick it up and before the sample, I had a fragrance oil of Gentle Fluidity Gold. I got this over a year ago, and I remember getting it and thinking, wow, this smells like Roses Beneath. So I always had it in the back of my mind. Those must be similar. When I finally did go and pick up the travel size that I got and tested it, sure enough, I'm like, yes, they smell similar. So I'm going to go ahead and spray that out for you guys, a new tester, and put that here. Yes, okay, you guys, I read on Fragrantica before I decided to even pull the trigger and pick up this fragrance. Long before I even got Roses Beneath, I just decided to look it up and just see once I got that fragrance oil, and it said on there that a lot of people thought those were similar. So clearly I'm not the only one who feels that way, but I do know that there are a lot of people who feel different completely. When you first spray it out, what I pick up is like a powderiness. There is something spicy about this fragrance. I know that this does have like some juniper berries and coriander, so there's definitely a spicy kick in here. It's marketed as like a vanilla fragrance, right? But this is to me more like a clean vanilla. Not clean in a sense of cleanly like laundry detergent or nothing like that. This is a clean vanilla as in like a serious vanilla. This isn't your syrupy sweet vanilla. This isn't your gourmand vanilla. This to me is something that a doctor could wear. Someone just in a more serious type of role. I could see someone wearing this when they're getting married. Like if I am to compare it to Roses Beneath, this is very much so a dialed back version. I read somewhere on Fragrantica and I completely wholeheartedly agree with what they said. This is literally Roses Beneath without the rose. That's how I see this. So for someone who really doesn't like a rose fragrance, and you like the vibe though of Roses Beneath, this is literally like that, but without that jammy, super sweet rose. Now, don't get me wrong, this has a sweetness to it, but it's not uber sweet. It's nowhere in the same lane as Roses Beneath. But it is very nice. I get a powdery vibe. This gives me almost like a sophisticated baby powder type of vanilla, which I know that sounds crazy, you guys, but if you ever smell it, you may be able to pick up on what I'm putting out. Just in terms of how they smell, to me, the similarity is like uncanny. It's undeniable, but there are differences. You will get a different wearing experience from the both of them, especially in the dry down. But at first sniff, I was like, whoa, these are so similar. I promise you, if you have these two and you've never caught that comparison, just try them on each arm and just see. And tell me if you don't come up with that same conclusion that, hey, they are kind of reminiscent. Again, that was Roses Beneath and Gentle Fluidity Gold. The next up on this comparison list will be the infamous Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian going up against Parfums de Marly's Oriana. You guys, these two have been compared to no end. A lot of people say they either like one or the other. I already like Kilian Love Don't Be Shy, so they'll say, well, this is just a dupe of that. I hear that more times than not, but I oftentimes hear that people say they are like interchangeable. I couldn't disagree more. This is just my interpretation, but that's what you're here for, right? Now, this is one that is the newer one to my collection. It's the one that everybody hyped up because they have heard through the grapevine. This was the scent that Rihanna was known for and that she always is known to smell good. and then she smells like this. And I don't know if that is true or not. All I know is the girls have stolen it and they have ran with it. I do enjoy this scent profile. It took me some time to get there. I did not always enjoy this, you guys. I actually just got on this bandwagon. I do love me a good sweet scent. I love marshmallowy, orange blossom, heavy scents. Of course, seems as though everybody does, right? What's not to like about marshmallows? Well, with this one, there's a lot more to it, and I'm gonna put notes up there. I don't know them off the top of my head, but what I do know is that this opens up with some neroli along with a slew of other notes. Now, neroli is one that I am very familiar with. I know that one when I smell it in fragrances, but when I first smelled this, I did not know about neroli, and it was off-putting to me. There was something about this that I did not like right off the bat, and I am sure now that the neroli is probably what did it. Something about this profile gave off a floral touch that I just didn't like. It's also incredibly sweet, you guys. Very, very sweet. It does have some bergamot, I think, in there, but to me, this fragrance didn't have anything to ground it. It's just like a bowl of sweetness, which for some people is perfectly fine. But for me, I do need something else for it to grab onto. And for me, that's where this came in. So when it comes to the comparison between these two, this is the one that I prefer. You guys already know that if you're a fan of my channel. Parfums de Marly's Oriana, and this also has that orange blossom and marshmallow profile. However, these to me vary quite a bit. Outside of the marshmallow and orange blossom combo, this is a completely different scent profile in my opinion. I'll spray them on testers even though I'm super familiar with this one, you guys. I have Oriana here. Then we have Love Don't Be Shy there. Okay. Yeah. So easy for me to tell these two apart. I mean, I feel like if you've smelled one and you smelled the other, I think it's incredibly easy to tell them apart. But let me just tell you some of the ways that I immediately can tell them apart and what makes them differ to me. So right off the bat, you get the orange blossom in both of them. They both have that white floral touch that's creamy that a lot of people associate with marshmallow. I think at this point, people associate orange blossom with marshmallow instead of marshmallow with marshmallow, orange blossom with that, because it's always accompanied by orange blossom. So I think a lot of people think those are interchangeable, and I don't think that's the case. If you've ever smelled the scent that doesn't have marshmallow and they have orange blossom, not all of them smell like marshmallows. I think that's just something that YouTube has created that people run with. So with Oriana, Oriana has an opening of bergamot along with some fruitiness in the opening. So it has like some grapefruit, it has some raspberry in there, a brightness in the opening. To me, Love Don't Be Shy doesn't have a brightness. It goes directly into that sweetness, but it does have the neroli sharpness. That's what bothers me in Love Don't Be Shy, even though they're both beautiful profiles, you guys. I do prefer one over the other, but it's not that I think one is better. It's just one that I prefer more. But with Oriana, there is no neroli. So to me, there is no sharpness, but there is orange blossom. And you definitely detect that, but I definitely get a more fresher vibe from Oriana. Oriana starts off fresh, and then it goes down into the creaminess, and then it also has like chantilly cream, whipped cream, as well as the marshmallow. So it definitely has like a creamy feel once it dries down. Yeah, this one I believe has some caramel in it. This to me starts off sweet, and it just gets sweeter and sweeter as you wear it. As it dries, it only gets sweeter. It never really calms down. It's just sweet and sweet all the way through. I don't find myself pulling for this by itself. I almost always layer it. Till this day, before I had this, I had a dupe of it and I would layer that. Whereas with Oriana, I could wear Oriana all by itself. Oriana to me is a full scent profile because it's not just straight up sweet. There definitely are layers to it. Even though it doesn't have anything that grounds it as far as like a sandalwood or anything, any of those like woody notes that sometimes can ground a fragrance to really round them out and kind of break up that sweetness. To me, this isn't just full on sweetness because it does have like the brightness and the fruitiness in the opening. And then it does dry down to like a musky vibe. So for me, Oriana leans sweet, but also fresh. There's a freshness to Oriana, whereas Love Don't Be Shy is just straight up sweet. And so to me, those are the differences in the scent profile and the wearing experience. I think Love Don't Be Shy honestly lasts longer than Oriana. It's just my thoughts. I like Love Don't Be Shy less than I like Oriana, but it does last longer in my opinion. Again, to me, with Love Don't Be Shy, it can seem overwhelmingly sweet, nauseatingly sweet, to the point where it's like, okay, I kind of want to take this off. It could even give me a headache. So whereas with Oriana, I could just continue to wear it. You give the sweetness that you would want to, that girly feminine vibe, but you also give a cleanliness, and that's what I really like about that. Also, I do want to mention some people get like a detergent-esque type of vibe with Oriana. I kind of get it. Again, I think that's that muskiness, that cleanliness that you kind of get in there. But again, that is one of those things that really varies because you don't pick that up in Love Don't Be Shy. So those are my thoughts. But to me, these two fragrances are completely different. They are not the same, even though I know they both have that profile that has a orange blossom, marshmallow. They couldn't be more different to me. They are both standalone fragrances. They are both beautiful in their own right, and they wage their own path. Depending on what you like and what speaks to your preferences more, that's what you should go with. But that is Love Don't Be Shy by Killian and PDM's Oriana. Another one on this list that I really wanted to speak to you guys about is Kayali's The Wedding Silk Santal. You guys, I noticed early on that this fragrance was very similar to Ariana Grande's Mod Vanilla. In my opinion, they are incredibly similar, but they do have differences that I do think are worth pointing out. Now, of course, Kayali is nice enough to tell us the notes on the back, so I'm going to give you those. We have sparkling champagne, white freesia, pink praline, lush nectarine, sandalwood, and sugared musk. Let me get a tester. I can tell you guys right off the bat with this one, I'm only spraying a little bit, you guys. I need to get another bottle. I'm so hurt that I got rid of my backup bottle because I'm enjoying this scent a lot more now. And I wish I didn't get rid of it, but it's all good. It's all good. I will repurchase when it's done. Okay, so right off the bat with the Wedding Silk Santal, gorgeous, ethereal type of vibe. Y'all, this is just giving pretty. What stands out in here is that sparkling champagne. That is the stunner. That is the star of the show here, along with that nectarine. There is a floral touch. Of course, this has freesia in it, and it also has some sandalwood in the base. Something about this is sparkly, and I'm getting that from that champagne, I think. That is what the star of the show is here in this fragrance. Something about this gives me like chilled champagne vibes. I love it, along with the look of the bottle and everything. Oh, presentation is on point. This is just a beauty. It really is. It's not incredible, but I really do love the scent profile, and I just think you're really getting a solid fragrance in this. When it comes to my vanilla, you guys know I've been rocking with this one real hard lately. And so, yeah, I am going to give this a fresh spray here. Now, as much as I don't care for the packaging, I have to say that I enjoy this scent so much. This to me is sweeter right off the bat from Silk Santal. I'm gonna spray it on myself too because it's not coming up really good on the tester, you know. I'm trying with the testers today, you guys, but you know I struggle. Okay, so this one right off the bat is sugary sweet, very, very sweet, way sweeter to me than Silk Santal is coming off. Okay, so, and also, this to me is missing the champagne vibe. To me, the sparkling champagne and that nectarine, that's what stands out in Silk Santal. Almost like a wine spritzer type of vibe. That is what makes Silk Santal. Also the sandalwood. Whereas over here, I know this one has plum. So this is a deeper, richer scent in my opinion. Like this one is lighter wearing, I feel. I'm sorry. I'm pointing to my wrist, but this one is lighter wearing, whereas this one has more of a richness. Also, this has vanilla and cacao butter in the base. You guys, I will never forget that because the cacao butter, it stands out to me in here. This one is deeper to me, richer, more sugary sweet, whereas this one has a little bit more complexity as far as the Silk Santal. Again, giving an ethereal vibe. It's more of a light wearing experience. I feel like I do think this one lasts probably longer than Silk Santal, but again, I'm not dousing myself in this the way I will with this because of the price difference and just the nature of the scent. But yeah, there's something special to be said about this, and I don't think getting this, you're getting the exact same thing. There are definitely differences, and the wearing experience is different. However, they are close. They do have similarity. You're in the ballpark, but you're not going home. It's just something different about this. So yes, they are incredibly close. No, they are not dupes. So similar, but different. You guys, I think this will be our last one for today because I don't want this video to be too long. We're definitely going to have to come back for a part 2 and maybe a part 3. So we'll see how well this does. But this next duo that I have, actually maybe a trio, by Rados About the Freak. You guys know this is sort of new to my collection. This is a repurchase. So I have a 3.4 ounce bottle. I did not finish the one I had before this. I had a 1.6 and I sold it when it got to about maybe here. So I did get a nice amount of wear out of it. This is a gorgeous freshie through and through. It is clean. It's giving expensive vibes, luxury hotel type of vibes. It just gives good body care. It gives fresh out of the shower, but higher end, you know, expensive, luxurious. It's not giving like a light blue type of vibe, even though I love me a light blue, don't get me wrong, but light blue is more like outdoorsy, head outside. This is more just, you just smell good. This is perfect for the office. This is perfect for everyday wear. Hot weather. That is by Rados About the Freak. I truly enjoy it. It can be considered unisex. A man could wear this, a woman could wear this, young, old, anywhere in between. So what we'll be comparing it with today is Love Notes by Ariana Grande. This is Pink Woods. And this one has the notes on the front that says jasmine petals, tonka, and cashmere woods. So what I will say in short, the differences between these two, I'm going to spray them really quick. Gosh. And then we got this one here. Okay. These are hard to smell. I'm going to put this on my fingers, you guys, right here. I can get About the Freak on here, but Pink Woods needed to go here. Okay, so between the two, so I got About the Freak right here. This one's Pink Woods. And I have Pink Woods over here. Okay. Between the two, with About the Freak, you get a very clean, okay, linear. How it smells when it sprays out is the same as how you'll get in 3 hours. It's pretty much stays the same. It is a clean, somewhat earthy, fresh scent profile. Pink Woods is given the very same similar vibe as About the Freak. They're both given that earthiness, which in About the Freak is coming from the vetiver. In Pink Woods, it comes from the cashmere. But the difference is that with Pink Woods, I think it is a bit more earthy. About the Freak is a bit more bright, a lot more lemon forward, because I think it has like a mouthy lemon. They both have some floral notes. I think Pink Woods has like a tea note. But Pink Woods, where it varies from About the Freak, is that addition of cotton candy. They added cotton candy to the note profile. That is, to me, why she called it Pink Woods, because it's like she girlied up the profile of About the Freak. So the way I say About the Freak can be considered unisex. A man could wear it, a woman could wear it. With this, not that a man can't wear this. If that's your scent profile, do what you do. You can wear what you want, but this is clearly leaning more towards the women's side. So this is definitely for the sweeter lovers of Bow to Freak. So people who might like a Bow to Freak but wished it had more of a feminine edge, that's what she did with Pink Woods, in my opinion. Depending on what you're looking for, you may want one of the two. I happen to like them both, so I have them both. I started out really liking Bow to Freak more. I didn't even know if I enjoyed Pink Woods as much, but now I'm starting to lean more into Pink Woods. I like them both. If you like something that's a little more unisex, clean, straightforward, you don't mind that it's pretty much just a cleanly, like, expensive lotion type of scent, luxury vibe, then you can go with that. But if you want something that's a little more girly, a little more feminine leaning, then you can go with Pink Woods. Either way, you're going to have to like earthiness in your fragrances. You're going to have to like something that's just not sugary sweet. You're going to have to like clean scents. If that is not your vibe, then I recommend you steer clear of them both. That's all we got time for in this video. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. Let me know down below how you feel. And if you have similar vibes in your collection, what they are, let me know down below. We may have some in common. How do you feel about the ones I spoke about today? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know, but be respectful in the comments. If you like, we'll pick this up next week and we'll do a part 2. Definitely give me feedback down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hope this was helpful. Make sure you always look good and smell good, and make sure you do it on a budget. Till next time. Bye.